Hello. All right, so today we're going to talk about functions. Now, functions are actually something that you've been working with. You just haven't known that you've been working with them. Okay, so when we have a problem like this that says Alex has $12 more than Tejas. Okay, and what we would want to do with a problem like this is we would set up a little table like this. And I would say that, well, let's say that Tejas has $6. How much would Alex have? Well, he'd have 12 more than that, so he would have 18. And then I could say, well, what if Tejas had $20? Then Alex would have 12 more than that. He'd have 32. Okay, what if Tejas had X dollars? Okay, um, Alex would have 12 more than that, so he would have X plus 12. Now this is where we get to talking about what a function is. Okay, a function is a way of relating two variables. Kind of. It's a relationship between two variables. So I could say that if I said that y is Alex's money, okay, so does an S go here for x? I don't even know. Alex's, that works. Okay, so if y is equal to Alex's money and x is Tejas's money, what I could say, I could relate y and x by saying that y is always equal to x plus 12. This is most definitely a function. Now a function, here's another drawing for you. Bam. This is the glorious function box. Okay. Now I don't know if you've seen this before. It's kind of like a staple of the Cardan mythology. It comes out from time to time. You might have seen it in person. This is the function box. Okay. Now what the function box does is it transforms numbers. Okay. So what you do is you plug in numbers here. Okay, so numbers go in to the X input. Okay, they go into this input tube. So I could plug numbers like 12, I could plug numbers like 3, or -7, or the square root of 5. I could plug in all kinds of different numbers and they go in here. Okay, they go inside the function box. We do something with it. What do we do? Well, in this particular function box, we add 3. Okay, and what comes out? After we add 3, we get something else out and it changes. This is now y. This is a new variable. Okay, so this is the basic idea of a function. You have inputs that you plug into the function, you do something with them, and out comes the new variable, y. So in our example before, what was happening was I was plugging in numbers for Tejas, adding 12 to it, and out was coming Alex's money. That's a function. Tejas's money and Alex's money were related by an equation. Okay, so let's do some examples. No, I don't want to save changes. Okay, now this is the table that I want you to memorize. I'll give you a handout that has this on it. This is how we check out functions. Okay, this is how we evaluate functions. So let's say I have a function over here that says y is equal to, well, let's do an easy one. Let's say y is equal to x plus 7. All right, this is about as basic as you can get. And I'm doing these colors for a reason. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick a number for x. Okay, you're going to pick a number for x, any number, it doesn't matter what it is. You know, a good number to start with is always 0. Okay, so we'll plug in 0 for x. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to write down this equation up here. So in this case, I'll write it here, x plus 7. In this case, it will be, I won't just have x, I'll have 0. I'm actually plugging in this 0 for this red x here. I'll add 7. And whatever I get from that is going to be what? Well, it's going to be my y. So y is equal to 7. And I'm using blue for y. Okay? And what we often want to do is we want to write that as an ordered pair. When I plugged in 0 for x, I got out 7 for y. That's important. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, we'll take some more numbers. Let's take 5. Okay, so I'm going to say 5. I'm going to drag this a little bit closer so I don't have to move so far. 5 plus 7. And what's that going to be equal to? I'm kind of doing this backwards. I shouldn't do this backwards, but whatever. 5 plus 7 is equal to 12. And 12 is going to be our y. Remember that y is always going to be 7 more than our x here. So you could probably just do this in your head. And then we're going to write our ordered pair. And what this ordered pair says is that when x equals 5, y equals 12. Okay? And we could plug in a bunch of different numbers. So you can plug in any number you want. Let's go ahead and do x is 10. Okay? And, you know, we're going to do this. You probably don't need to do this at this point because you can add 7 in your head. But we're going to add 7 to 10, get 17, bam. There's our y value. Okay, it really shouldn't be, it shouldn't take me this long, but I'm changing colors. So when x is 10, the number that I get spit back out with this particular function is going to be 17 for y. Right? That's the basics of graphing a function. Now let's do another one. Let's do another one. Don't say changes. All right, let's try another function. This time we're going to do something that's a little more difficult. So this time I'm going to say y equals 3x. Should I do it all in red? Yeah, I guess so. 3x minus 4. Okay, so our function of x, what we're going to do is we're taking some number x, we're going to multiply it times 3, and then we are going to subtract 4. And once we've done that, we get this other variable y. Okay, so let's try some numbers. Now remember, a good one to plug in is always 0. So I'll plug in 0 for x, and I'll say that y is equal to 3 times what? Well, 3 times 0 minus 4. Okay, so even though it's 0, I'm still going to put it in parentheses because I need to multiply it times 3. Now, 3 times 0 is 0, minus 4 is negative 4. Okay, so our coordinate pair is going to be 0, negative 4. And this says that when x was 0, with this particular function, we got a negative 4 for y. Now let's try another one. When I plug in 2 for x, y equals, one moment. Okay, where were we? So we plug in 2 for x now. So we're going to put in 3 times, this is where I'm going to put in my x value, 3 times 2, close your parentheses, minus 4. And you can go ahead and do some work in here if you need to. So this is 3 times 2 is 6, minus 4 is equal to 2. I know I didn't make this black, but whatever, we're just going to move forward. So this is equal to y. Y is going to be equal to this 2 right here. Y equals 2. Okay, so we're going to put that in blue. Y is equal to 2. Well, that's interesting. So when x is 2, y is 2. Now, we're going to say that with this pair of numbers right here. When x is equal to 2, y is also equal to 2. Okay, that's what this ordered pair says. It says for this function, when x equals 2, y equals 2. Okay, so why are we doing this and why do we want to put them in ordered pairs? We'll talk about that in the next video. Bye.